All right, this is an intro video for a 6 acre tract, super nice property. This is actually a combination of two adjoining tracts, each of which are 3 acres. So we've got 6 acres total here at Bull Shoals Lake. Got the property in the center of the screen. It's outlined in red. The shaded area that you see, the brown shaded area, that's the take line at Bull Shoals Lake. As you may know, Bull Shoals Lake is a Corps of Engineer lake. So the shoreline and the dam and all that stuff, they're controlled by the Army Corps of Engineers. Uh, they uh, own they own a portion of land going back from the water, so that they can raise and lower the water level at the dam for flood control. So you can't own the waterfront on a Corps of Engineer lake, but you can own up to the take line, which is often considered lakefront on a lake like this. So this lake, Table Rock Lake by Branson, is another popular Corps of Engineer lake. There's quite a few of them. So if you're able to get a property that has frontage on the take line, you've got direct access over that land to the water. And this property happens to have well over 400 feet of direct frontage on the take line, basically at the end of a dead end road here, giving you really good access. So as we look at this, again, this is the property. This is 6 acres. The shaded area here is the Corps of Engineer land, and obviously this is Bull Shoals Lake. This happens to be State Line Cove on Bull Shoals Lake. So these orange lines are easement roads. This has a ton of frontage on the south and the east side, on the private easement road here at Timber Shoals Ranch. The easement road continues into the Corps of Engineer land, and actually it goes more or less right to the water. It's drivable to about this point. From here on down, we took a four-wheeler. The trail does need to be cleaned up a little bit through the Corps of Engineer area, but I mean you can get right to the lake on your four-wheeler or whatnot. Go fishing right there. I mean, there's good fishing right here in the cove. Uh, I hardly know where to begin with this because there's so much I want to pack into this video, but I don't want to make it a 20-minute video because I know people don't necessarily want to watch that. But let's start this way. Let's zoom out a little bit, and we'll take a look at all of Timber Shoals Ranch. So Timber Shoals Ranch is this private peninsula that you see here on Bull Shoals Lake. It's completely surrounded. If you look at the shaded area, it's completely surrounded by the Corps of Engineer land. So the peninsula itself has, I think, right around 6 miles of lake frontage, which is pretty unbelievable. These orangish, yellowish lines here are the private trails through Timber Shoals Ranch, which are only for property owners. They're minimum maintenance trails, basically. They're designed for a truck or an SUV, just to kind of stay with the private feeling that you get when you're out here. Now, we've found several access points right to the lake. We haven't even fully explored these roads, but the guys have kind of mapped out the roads they found. That one of the coolest, or possibly the coolest, is at the very south side here. The trail comes to this amazing sandy beach area. It feels like you're in the Caribbean. Just huge amount of sandy beach. You can fish right from the shoreline. There's a place where we've backed a pontoon boat into the water, used as a boat launch. The other good place that we've launched a boat, if you look up here, is just north of the property. You'll see this dotted line, which is a trail to State Line Cove. And this is an excellent place, or it has been for us, to put a pontoon in the water, to put jet skis in the water. I assume you could put a bass boat in the water. Again, it's a primitive trail, so you've got to go kind of slowly, and I wouldn't necessarily bring your brand new Escalade on that trail or on any of these trails, but it was fine for us. So the dotted line itself is not an easement. That happens to go to the east over this portion of field that we own, and you're welcome to use that. And then it goes into the Corps of Engineer land and down to State Line Cove, so that's been really great. So coming to the property, you'll come down to the south, check out the maps, but this is Moe Ark Road right here, running north and south. That's a paved road. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. So Moe Ark, that's short for Missouri Arkansas Road. Paved road that goes down to the south, comes right here to the state line. Here's the state line between Missouri and Arkansas. And then you'll see that it cuts to the left and that's when these orange lines kind of kick in, and those are the gravel. That's the gravel easement road that goes south into Timber Shoals Ranch. So you'll come to the end of the paved road. You'll see the driveway for this guy's house right here. Retired guy and his wife, super nice guy that live out there. So you'll head on past that on the private driveway, or the private easement road, which is separate from his driveway. Come on down. You'll hang a left. You'll see this metal farm building here. This used to be a bison ranch, and so you'll see some signs of that. As soon as you pass that building, you'll hang a left, stay to the right, and then keep your eyes open once you pass through this little meadow, because there's this road right here that goes off to the left, and that's what takes you right up to the property. So let's zoom in a little more. Covered in good timber. Whoops. You want to check out the pictures and the ground video and the drone video on the listing. Since this is actually two separate tracks that we've put together, I believe we have a couple of videos of each specific tract. We don't have, one drone video showing the whole 6 acres because we did them separately. And then as we were looking at them, we thought, man, those really tie in together nicely. And this would be great for someone who wants a much larger than average property at the lake with much more take line frontage than we've seen on just about any property of this size. Let's zoom in a little more here. I'm on the MapRight program, and we would love to send you the direct link for this. You need the MapRight app for your phone. It's a free app, MapRight, all one word, so download that. And then we can email you the link to this map. You need to open your email on your phone and click on the link, and then it'll ask if you want to open it up within the app. You'll say yes, and then this will pop open. Now this is more for when you drive to the properties, when this will be useful. This will pop open on your phone, and there'll be a little blue or red dot to indicate exactly where your phone is or where you are. It works off your GPS on your phone. So you can use it to drive out here, and then when you get to the property, you can literally walk the boundary with phone in hand and tell right where you are. So it's pretty great here. Okay, we've got multiple maps on MapRight. Let's use a Google-based map and see what that looks like. Okay, so that's a wintertime view, but it's useful in that the green areas are going to be cedar and pine trees, and the lighter areas are the hardwood trees. So that tells you you've got hardwood trees all around the periphery here, and then more cedars in the middle, which is interesting. Go to satellite map. This looks like maybe an early spring view. The property's basically all wooded. There are spots where you can certainly pull in off the road and get off the road, but it's predominantly wooded with nice mature timber. I'm not aware of any commercial logging out here for decades. Possibly there's been some firewood cut, if that. It's just a nice unspoiled property. So much wildlife out here. It's insane, all the deer and turkey we see out here. Okay, let's try different. Oh, that's fine as well. Well, let's do this. Let's do a topo map, and that'll show us how this property is situated. So on a topo map, basically each line indicates an elevation change of 20 feet. So if the lines are close, that indicates something steep. If they're far apart, it indicates something is basically level or perfectly level. So as we look at the south side, we have a large level area, and this is a ridge, a gentle ridge that goes right down to the water, and the road kind of follows the ridge. So the entire south side of the property, and then most of this east side, flat or just a gentle slope. As you look more toward the west part of the property, this is going to be sort of a small valley area. Really, we haven't explored much of this or any of this other than the two videos where I think we just walked, to the very south side of the property. Perhaps in one of them, I think one of them we did go down a little further. But you've got this valley area. That could be hiding a little spring. It could be potentially a good place to put a pond if you wanted a pond on your property. Or it could be a place if you wanted to do kind of a walkout style home, you could do that. So if you wanted a traditional home or cabin in a large flat yard, you've got the south side and this east side. The other thing I will say, and we might see it in the videos as well, is because of this topography, because you're flat up here and then it drops down, you've got a really good opportunity to create a gorgeous lake view if you wanted to down the line by removing these lower trees, the smaller trees that are down below. Now, when you're up here, you're going to be having an unobstructed view of the cove and probably the lake as well. So once the property's been paid for in full, you're welcome to cut whatever timber you like, to sell the timber, to leave the timber alone. Um, that's once it's been paid for in full. Now, in the meantime, if you do need to clear for a building site or a driveway, just get a hold of us and let us know. All you'll need to do is mark the trees with some marking ribbon, like from the hunting section at Walmart, that orange marking ribbon, or anything similar. And when we have a guy in the area, we'll send them out there to look everything over, and we generally can give you written permission to do that really quickly. So if you are going to build um, or cut in your driveway or your campsite, um, just let us know, and we can check it over and get you written permission to go ahead and remove those trees. So we'll back out a little bit here. So you can see all this take line frontage. And the really awesome thing, one of the many awesome things on this tract, is this Corps of Engineer land that you see is also open for hunting. So really similar to National Forest in that you can set up your home or your cabin or your campsite or whatever here on the property, and you border hundreds of acres of additional hunting land. So, I mean, chances are good that if you pick the right spot, you're going to have, good luck with deer and turkey right on your property. But if you want to check out some other areas, you have, well, I mean, in this area, you probably have thousands of acres if we added it up, because all this contiguous Corps of Engineers land can be used for that. But even just directly adjacent to your property, I mean, you've got, it looks like a good 100 acres. I mean, just within very short walking distance. So, really good situation if you're a hunter, if you're coming out with a big group of guys or girls, or your family. You can all kind of have different spots if you want to do that. Trying to think what else I want to go over. There's so much to see here. Check out the listing. Let us know if you have any questions. We'd love to talk to you. Very rarely do we have a tract of this size with take line frontage. It's extremely hard in the first place to find properties with take line frontage because obviously everybody wants that access to the water, and for good reason. This is a great section of water. The fishing is phenomenal. Tubing, canoeing, kayaking. I mean, boats the lake is big and deep enough to have virtually any boat you want. In this section of the lake, it's sort of a family-friendly recreational section, so you're going to have more of the bass boats and the pontoon boats. Probably don't have very many of the big yachts coming through here, which is kind of, in my mind, that's good. More family-friendly is generally a good thing. If you look down here toward the left, the lower left, I guess, this is Tucker Hollow Marina, so that's nearby. A lot of different stuff going on here. So I already made this quite a bit longer than I planned. Sorry about that. But you can check us out at InstantAcres.com. If the property is available, then you'll see it on the website. Feel free to give us a call or send us an email with any questions. Our email is sales@InstantAcres.com. If you don't know our sales process, we'd be happy to explain that to you, but you can read all about it on the website as well. So yeah, really rare tract, huge amount of frontage. Nice deal. 6 acres directly on the take line of Shoals Lake. Check us out at InstantAcres.com, and we hope to hear from you.